Welcome. So, today we are diving headfirst into the world of global payments, and let me tell you, things are moving so fast, it's incredible. We're not talking about some slow, gradual change here. Nope. This is a full on revolution, and it's happening right now, with major players making huge moves in every single corner of the globe.
And really, that's the big idea for today. These aren't just random little news items you might see pop up in your feed. Each one is a piece of a much, much bigger puzzle. We are literally watching the rulebook for money get a complete rewrite. All right, let's get into it. To really get a handle on this, we're going to do a quick world tour. We'll kick things off in the West, then swing over to the East, hop down to Africa, and then we'll zoom out to look at the massive global forces that are influencing everything. And finally, we'll talk about what all this means for your wallet. Okay, first stop, the West. And wow, is this a fascinating picture. We're seeing two completely opposite things happening at the exact same time. It's a real story of a surprising step back versus a really bold leap forward. So on one side of the pond, you've got this retreats. Amazon is actually shutting down its Amazon One palm payment tech. The sci-fi stuff where you just wave your hand over a scanner to pay. Super futuristic. But it turns out people just weren't really using it. So Amazon's pulling the plug, a pretty big step back from that high-tech vision. Now check out this contrast, because this is where it gets really interesting. On the one hand, you have a private company, Amazon, backing away because customers just weren't biting. But on the other hand, you have Europe's central bank going full speed ahead with a public project. And their reason? It's not about cool tech. It's about strategic autonomy. They're building a digital euro. Think of it as an official digital version of cash backed by the government. And they're pointing to 2026 as a key year. So this isn't some market experiment. This is a government-led move to control their own financial future. Okay, now let's jet over to Asia, where the story is completely different. It's not about one company retreating or a government building a new currency. No, the big story here is about building these incredible bridges between payment systems that already exist, essentially connecting an entire continent. So, to get what's happening, you first need to know about UPI. This is India's payment system, and it is wildly successful. It's simple, it's instant, and it has totally transformed how hundreds of millions of people handle their money. It's a real game changer.
And this shows you the power of what's happening. Thanks to a new partnership between India's UPI and China's Alipay Plus, just imagine this. You're a tourist from India, you're shopping in Thailand. You just scan a QR code, you tap approve in your normal banking app back home, and that's it. Done. The payment just works seamlessly across borders. This could totally redefine travel and payments for millions and millions of people.
All right, now for our next stop, Africa. And here we see yet another totally unique approach. The revolution here isn't about creating new digital money. It's about unlocking the massive potential of the one piece of hardware that almost everybody already owns, their smartphone.
And this is just brilliant. The Central Bank of Egypt has given the green light for a service that turns any old smartphone into a point-of-sale terminal. What does that mean? Well, it means a shop owner doesn't have to go out and buy one of those clunky, expensive card machines anymore. Their phone is the machine.
And that's the whole point. Think about the impact. With this one simple change, any person with a smartphone in Egypt, whether they're a street vendor or a small shop owner, can now accept digital payments. This could bring millions of small informal businesses into the digital economy, like overnight. It's a massive leap forward. Okay, so we've seen what's happening on the ground in different regions. Now it's time to pull the camera back and zoom out, because there are two enormous global forces at play here, and they're influencing every single one of these stories, kind of like setting the rules for the entire game.
And here they are. First, you have the quiet one, artificial intelligence. It's not flashy, it's working behind the scenes, but it's making business payments way more efficient, catching fraud, optimizing cash flow, that kind of thing. Then you have the loud one, geopolitics. The BRICS nations, that's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are now officially working to build their very own payment system. This is a direct move to create an alternative to the current global networks and give them more financial independence.
So, after that whirlwind tour around the globe, from palm scanners in the US to smartphones in Egypt, what's the big takeaway here? What does all this mean for the future of the money in your pocket or on your phone?
Well, the most important thing to get is that we are not moving toward one single system that rules them all. Not at all. The future is messy, it's fragmented, it's competitive. You're going to have these public projects like the digital euro going up against private tech. You're going to have regional payment networks being built to challenge the old guard. And you have to understand, this isn't just about what's convenient, it's about power.
Which really leaves us with one final big question to chew on. As entire countries and groups of nations are building these new highways for money, and AI is getting smarter and smarter at directing the traffic, who do you think is actually going to be in the driver's seat? Who will really control your wallet in a